I just got back from Alex Fisher Wagner's place. Do you know him? He's a swell lad. It was a good group. It was a good group today. But actually, I lied. I didn't just get back from there. I got back from his place a little while ago. I just got done talking to my mom for 74 minutes. But before that, I was at Alex's place for like 5 hours. It was like a Super Bowl party, except the catch is that we didn't watch the Super Bowl. We watched like figure skating, which is pretty dope, actually. It's also, that's very funny. Yeah, it's a Super Bowl party, and I will tell everyone that it was a Super Bowl party. But we know we did not watch a single second of the Super Bowl. We watched the halftime show, but there was no superb wide cup action, if you know what I mean. And look at me getting out. That's right. I've been getting out more. I've been, I gotta brag. Out of 7 days this week, the past 7 days, I went outside 5 out of those 7 days. That's big. That's huge. That's what she said. But that's a big deal. I haven't done that in so long. Probably last time I've gone out that much, it's probably been like since August time frame, something like that. So the fact that like I've been getting out more, that's dope. That's so cool. And yeah, this week, went out, did stuff, but the most recent thing was, yeah, I went to Alex's. Hang out, it's a party, but really, it's a casual get together with some folks, good group, a great group even. They're great. And yeah, no. One thing I noticed, Alex, with giving the instructions about like what to wear for this thing, he was like, it's a Super Bowl, wear some like sports attire. And so, of course, I wore this Ducks hoodie that I bought. And actually, can I tell you the story behind this hoodie real quick? Make it quick? Okay, fine. I'm on the clock. Got it. I bought this hoodie because I'm really into like vintage things. And to me, like you have, or not you have to, but to me, like if I'm gonna buy vintage things, it's very important that I know nothing about them. Like I know people wear like the Grateful Dead shirts and like Grateful Dead merch. And then, these old heads, they get upset at this like younger generation because they're like, you don't know shit about that. It's like, yeah, but, you don't know what TikTok is. You think that's what, when we say TikTok, you're like, yeah, that's the sound a clock makes. It's like, you're so antiquated, just, chill out. But yeah, when I like buy vintage stuff, it's very important, like, I know nothing about it. So I was like, okay, well, I want to buy a vintage, like, sports hoodie because I don't have enough hoodies, right? And so I was like, well, what sports do I not watch? Well, I don't really watch any sports actively, but what sports am I completely disconnected from? And you're probably like, well, that's impossible, Gauruv. You're so athletic. There's no sport you're too far from. And I thank you for saying that. It's really, it's nice to hear that once in a while, to be reminded of your absolute athletic prowess from, someone like you. So I just want to say thanks for that. That's so nice of you to say. But no, I'm not really connected to hockey in any way. So I was like, okay, well, let's go to 47brand.com. That's where, all those months ago, that's where I got those hats. I still have those hats. I actually wore the grape one. What was it? The something Jammers? I forgot where they're from. The Louisiana Jammers? I don't know. But, I went to that website where I got those hats and I just looked up all the different mascots of hockey teams. I was like, okay, so what are we dealing with here, right? What's a cool looking mascot? Because when you go, vintage and you don't know anything about it, you want to get the coolest looking thing. So I was like, well, what's the coolest mascot? And I really narrowed it down to three options. First is penguins, second was coyotes, and the third was ducks. And immediately I ruled out penguins. I was like, penguins, everyone likes penguins. Like everyone when they see hockey mascots, they're like, no way, penguins? That's cute. I want to be a penguin. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go mainstream with it. I didn't want to be mainstream ignorant. If I'm going to be ignorant, I want to be very nuanced. I want to be an esoteric ignorant. So I was like, okay, coyotes and ducks. Let's look at some of these designs. And honestly, ducks, not that great of a design, but I noticed the vintage design was super dope. You see this like hockey mask? I thought that was super dope. The coyotes, not very dope, I have to admit. Coyote wasn't hitting the same for me. It wasn't as wily as I thought it'd be. So I elected ducks. and I bought this Ducks hoodie. And I remember a couple weeks after I bought the hoodie, I went over to Alex's place to catch up. I hadn't talked to him. It was like exactly a month after we made that music video. You know, this one. And so, he had gone to Paris. I had gone from this room to my kitchen quite a few times. So we had stuff to like catch up on, right? And so I went over to his house. He made a pizza for us. Oh, so good. A nice cheese pizza. And we were talking, and near the end of our talk, I was like, hey, by the way, how do we feel about the Ducks? Now, mind you, he's a very big hockey fan. So I was like, how do we feel about the Ducks? He's a big Sharks guy, too, San Jose Sharks. And he said, yeah, we don't like the Ducks. I was like, do we not? He was like, actually, they're okay. No, we're friends. We're friends of the Ducks. I was like, okay, that's good. He's like, what do you ask? I was like, because I bought a hoodie, a vintage Ducks hoodie. He said, why did you do that? I was like, I wanted to. He was like, all right, that's good enough reason. And so I pulled up the design. I was like, this is one I bought. He was like, you know what? That's pretty dope, actually. I was like, it was really between the Ducks and the Coyotes. He was like, Coyotes, really? He was like, well, good thing you didn't go Coyotes. I said, why? Why would that be the wrong choice? He was like, well, they're the worst team right now by far. I was like, well, fuck. I wish I knew that. Then I would have bought Coyote shit. I think it's so funny to like rep the worst team. Like, to me, that's so hilarious. I was like, shit, I wish I would have known that. I would have bought a Coyotes hoodie, even though I think their design is a little, doesn't hit quite the same. I still think like the funniness factor would make up for how it's lacking in design choice, So I was like, shit, the Ducks are actually kind of good. Damn it. They're not the best, but they paddle around. And so he was like, oh, that's cool. I actually kind of like the hoodie. I was like, right. And then today I showed up, and the only person in his apartment was Kat. And Kat was like, hey. I was like, yeah, how people do. And I was like, you like the hoodie? And she was like, Alex told me about that. I was like, did he? She was like, I think it's really funny. I was like, there's someone that gets the joke. There we go. Because she knows I don't know shit about hockey. She and I went on my birthday last year. We went and watched Alex play a ice hockey game. And the whole time I'm just asking her, I'm like, so how many periods are there? And she was like, well, remember, it's like an ellipses. There's 3 of them. I was like, that's a good one. She didn't say that. I just thought about that now. But isn't that interesting? Yeah. There's the same amount of periods in a hockey game as there are in an ellipses. 3. Unless you're a weird adult that like text and puts 2 dots in an ellipses, that's fucking terrifying. I've already talked about this. Like ages ago I talked about this. It's one of the first like 5 podcast episodes, but holy shit, man, adults don't know how to use ellipses. It's one of the most terrifying things ever. An adult will be like, have a good day. You're like, thanks, you too. And they'll be like, thanks. ... And I'm like, did I say something messed up? I'm sorry. Did I like cross a line? I didn't mean to. Was it something I said earlier? No. ... All right. Just tell me, man. This is gonna eat away at me for like weeks. Just tell me if I fucked up. Okay? You don't have to like be all eerie about it. But no, I was asking Kat all this shit about ice hockey. She knows how inadequate my intellect is in that category of my life. I don't know shit about this sport. And she asked me today, after we were watching this like ice skating, she's like, well, God, what do you think? How does ice skating like measure up against ice hockey? And I was like, I don't really know anything about ice hockey, so I think ice skating's pretty dope. And then some people were like, well, you got the sweatshirt. And I was like, just because I rep the art doesn't mean I know anything about it, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate the craft, So yeah, I bought this purely as a joke. I don't know shit about the Ducks. I don't know shit about hockey. Anaheim Ducks. If you wanted to know where they're from, Anaheim. That'll never be useful information to you, but now you have it, and I do too. I actually felt like a little bit of an imposter. I was walking over to Alex's place. I walked by this lady. I was like, does she like I could see, we it was we we were on a straightaway long enough to like make judgments about each other. Like I had an opinion about her, even though you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover. That's, I mean, it happens, because we're humans. So I had a judgment of her, and she had a judgment of me. And in my head, I was like, oh man, her judgments can't be right because I don't know shit about the Ducks. Like in the off chance that she knows about the Ducks, because I mean, no one watches ice hockey. No one. No one enjoys the sport. It's a stupid sport. Yeah, Alex, I said it. No, I know she doesn't know anything about ice hockey, right? Because no one does. But in the off chance she does, she'd be like, "Yeah, he's a Ducks fan." And so I was like, "No, but that's not who I am. That's not what I. That's not anything about me." And so it's interesting. Like I noticed walking over today, I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of like saying a thing about me with this sweatshirt, even though it's not that deep. No one really gives a shit." I just thought it was interesting that I can like act like this person just by like walking around with words on me. Isn't that interesting? But then another thing I noticed, with the dress code, Alex was like, "Wear some sports shit." So I threw on this. Um, I then decided, what are you gonna wear in the bottom? Like, what pants are you gonna wear? And I've been a big black jeans guy, I think, for the past 2-ish years. I was always a blue jeans guy, real blue collar on the line guy. But recently I've gotten into the black jeans because I like that look more, But with the black hoodie, black jeans, I mean, you look like the felt tip of a Sharpie at that point. And I'm like, do I really want to do that? No, you got to break it up a little bit, And then I realized, hey, we're kind of going to a sporting thing, right? I mean, sure, we're all huddled around the living room, but it's still a sporting thing. And I noticed, hey, wait a minute. Blue jeans are wildly appropriate for sport events. What is with that? I noticed black jeans, you don't really see them at sport events, but for some reason, blue jeans very frequently worn at sporting events. What is with that? And I don't know what it is, but it makes sense. Like to me, I was like, oh yeah, blue jeans sport event. And out of the 10 people that were there today, I'm pleased to report that 8 of them were wearing blue jeans. And I was like, God damn, isn't that so interesting? I was like, I don't think we all wear blue jeans that often. But because it's this social sport get together, we were like, let's, break out the Levi's, break out the paint pants. You don't care if you get paint on this shit. It's the working man's pants. It's the blue collar jeans. I mean, they're blue denim, but they're for the blue collar man. You know what I'm talking about? And so I thought that was interesting. I don't think there's any further explanation. I just think a blue jean is a sport pant. And I can't explain it, but I think it makes complete sense. So that was today. That was the Rams, by the way, is won, if you give a shit. I think it was 23-20. And yeah, now we're on to Valentine's Day. Actually, in 16 minutes, it'll be Valentine's Day. By the time you listen to this, it'll be Valentine's Day, or it'll have been Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. I hope you had a good one, or I hope you're having a good one. Well, I post these things at 7 p.m., so I hope it's been good so far, if you listen to this when it comes out. But I've been talking about how I've been getting out more, and it's been great. Oh my God. I've been, trying to reintegrate with society after a long, long hiatus, and I still think I'm not fully there. I, I still feel like kind of uncomfortable, like doing very normal things, but it's quickly like becoming normal. Like I told my mom about this. Like I was just going on a walk earlier this week, and even like the way I was seduced into going on this walk, I think really it created a domino effect for the rest of my week, and I'm so glad it did. One thing I've been doing, and I didn't even realize I've been doing this, but for the past like 3-4 months, I haven't opened the window to my room. I've just been in a room with this lighting. Like this is pretty much the lighting. The lighting you're seeing here is the same exact lighting I pretty much have when I work. And I was like, oh, maybe that's why I'm so sad. I'm not getting any sunlight in here. So the past like 2 weeks, I've been opening my window, and I'm like, oh my God, how good does this feel? And the way the sun works, this is actually, I worked out a deal with the sun. It sets pointing directly into my room. So at the end of my workday, I'm getting some direct sunlight. It's really cool. Actually, it's really warm. But no, that's what happened earlier this week. I think it was on Tuesday. On Tuesday at about 3:50, the sun was shining real bright. And it was kind of like annoying, but it felt so good, you know? It's like when your lover comes over and they're trying to, make things a little steamy, and you're like, hey, come on, babe, I'm working. You make me feel warm. I love you, but I gotta do this work, okay? That's exactly what I felt like the sun was doing to me. It was whispering sweet nothings in my ear. I was like, hey, come on, I'm making a living here, all right? Chill out. But no, the sun is directly just raining down on my left side, and I was like, ooh, this feels a little good. Oh my. Is my webcam on? I hope no one catches wind of this. Feels a little what? What is it? Nope, don't got the word. But I'm no prude, but come on. It's during the workday. Calm down. But I couldn't resist the pull. I couldn't resist that warm hug of the sun. So at about 4:40, I was like, you know what? The workday ends at 5. I think, everyone's pretty much offline. Let's go on a little walk. I went out for a little 40-ish minute walk. And wow, the outdoors feels good. But like I said, I still have this weird anxiety about just being outdoors. I feel weird in normal everyday situations. Like I went to go cross the street. And when I crossed the street, I just used the crosswalk. I was like, oh, everyone's looking at you. Oh, everyone's being like, you're a fucking idiot. Get back indoors where you belong. I was like, ah. And it's all in my head. It all is. But I noticed I had that. And I had that when I was walking away from my apartment. But then as I was walking back to my apartment, I crossed the same crosswalk. And I didn't have this feeling. I was like, no, I belong here. And I was like, I'm a person in society. I can take this crosswalk and not feel like I'm doing something bad. Because I'm not. I'm crossing a street. But it's little things like that I have just not worked that muscle. The muscle of existing in everyday society has atrophied for me. And so now I got to work it back, And it got very severe in like December. I didn't tell you about this because I didn't know how to talk about it. But like I went to Target. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram story. I posted this like picture of like a completed Boba Fett starship. I know we're not supposed to use the old name anymore, but it's called the Slave One. And I posted this picture of the Slave One, and that same day is when I went to Target. That's where I got the Lego set. And it's so stupid. I went to Target completely trying to get something else. I went to Target to get plastic spoons and red paint. Don't ask me why I needed those two things. And I ended up walking away with a Lego set, a green zip-up sweatshirt, and I think what else? There was one other thing. Oh, I think a hammer. It's so stupid. I went there for paint and spoons, and I walked away with just things I didn't need. Oh no, not a hammer, a 256 gig memory stick. Yeah, you can see very different things. But the whole time I was walking around that Target, I felt if you were hearing what I was saying to myself in my brain, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, lay off, man. God damn. I would like avoid, this is really fucked, but like I would avoid aisles with people because I was like, in the off chance that they have a judgment about me in their head, I don't want to risk that. Even though there's nothing at risk, I was like walking down aisles, and if someone was there, I was thinking, you know what they're thinking about you right now, right? They're thinking, you fucking loser, what are you doing out here? You shouldn't be out here. And part of the other reason was like I had bought these joggers, and they were like one size too big. And you can't really notice it. But I noticed like walking around, like they feel a little big. Like they don't look big, really. But like I know that they're big on me. So the whole time I was like, everyone knows you're wearing an ill-fitting fucking set of pants. This is why you shouldn't go outside. And I was like, God damn. Like it's crazy because I talk all this shit to myself in my brain. But at the same exact time, I'm like being so mean to myself. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? Like, it's not even like I'm being relentless and then I reflect later. I reflect in the same exact moment. Like, I'll be like, you fucking loser, what are you doing out here? I'm like, hey, can you chill out up there? What are you doing? Like, I can be out here. This is a Target. This is a public place. But no, it got really bad in December. Like just this like self-talk of like, you fucking loser. You think you deserve to walk around these aisles with other people? Yeah, man. What deserve? You don't need have to deserve it. You can just do it. You don't have to meet a requirement to walk around Target aisles. And it's crazy because like before I talk to someone and after I talk to someone, I'm the most anxious fucking mess ever. But like when I talk to someone, I feel so comfortable. And like I remember I walked around that Target for like 40 minutes and I never felt so uncomfortable. That's actually why I bought that stupid sweatshirt. I actually really like it. It's a very comfortable sweatshirt. But like I picked up the sweatshirt because I was just like in an aisle, not really doing anything. I was like, well, someone's judging me. So I was like, pick something up, make it look like you're doing something. And I know this is fucked. I admit this is not like good. But like I picked up a sweatshirt and then fully bought it. It was like $28 or something. It was on sale, so it was a good deal. Yeah, honestly, actually, it's not even that. It wasn't my anxiety. It was that I couldn't pass up a good deal. That's all it was. No, but I picked up the sweatshirt and I ended up buying it just because I was like, well, you picked it up, you like it. And I didn't even go to a dressing room. I was like, you don't deserve a dressing room. You're a large. Get a large and get out of there. And I did. And then luckily, it fits well. It's very nice. I really like it. It's one of my favorite zip up sweatshirts I have now. But I remember I was so anxious, like walking around alone. And then I got to the cash register and then the lady and I started talking and I felt so fine. Like we started making jokes. I would say we were even flirting, but it was a Target. So it was just, we were just being people. If it was a Walmart, we were probably flirting, but like at a Target, it was just good. It was customer service. But no, I felt so good. Like we were making jokes about like the things I bought. And then I remember she was like, do you want the warranty on the USB drive? And then I said no. And then she like teased me about it and we started making jokes about it. I was like, no, it's whatever. And it felt so okay. And then that interaction ended and I was walking to my car and boom, it flicked on again. I was like, you fucking idiot. You think you deserve to buy those things? You think money grows on trees? What do you need a Lego set for, huh? Why do you deserve to be happy? Because that's what that's going to do, right? That Lego set, it's going to make you happy. But you don't deserve that. I'm like, bro, can you chill out? I'm just walking to my car. But no, I've been like working to like better that recently. And yeah, no, it's getting a lot better. I can now cross streets without feeling like I should be locked away in a prison cell somewhere, This room, actually. So yeah, that's going great. Now let's talk about other stuff, right? These are some things I noticed, and this first thing I noticed, I've noticed this for a while, but let's finally bring this up. There's a certain car, a Jeep Wagoneer. Have you seen it? I've seen some ads for it. A Jeep Wagoneer. I think it looks so dope. But the ad doesn't do it justice because the ad shows entirely the interior of the car and not once, no, not a singular time does it show the outside of the car. So just by watching these ads, you don't know what a Jeep Wagoneer looks like from the outside. Actually, I don't know if it's Wagoneer. I think it's Wagoneer. I think that's right because there's two E's. I saw this ad. I thought the interior was so cool. And then I had to Google it. I was like, well, what does this look like from the outside? You guys didn't give me that. Isn't that a point of the ad to like show me the whole thing, And then it got me thinking, well, does that mean they're ashamed of it? I'm like, that's why I tell so many jokes, right? I'm trying to like show the interior so no one focuses on the exterior, And I'm like, oh, that must be it. They're not proud actually. They're ashamed. They're ashamed of the exterior of this car. I was like, yeah, no, you guys, come on, you look pretty good. Come on, get out there. I mean, you had me with the interior. I think you have a great, what's on the inside. I think that's great. And sure, maybe it's a little boxy on the outside, but I like it. You're my type. So don't feel bad because I love you. But no, then that got me thinking, yeah, there are these ads that like piss me off because they don't show the entirety of the car. I'm like, what are you doing? Aren't you trying to like show off. Like, sure, I like the interior, but what if someone's not too interior and they're a big exterior person? You not showing the exterior, boom. Let's just say half people are exterior, half people are interior. Obviously, it's not that binary, but for the sake of our argument, let's assume so. Let's assume these conditions, huh? Let's assume we are in a vacuumless, or what is it? What's that thing? The perfect physics um, simulation or like environment. It's like a volumeless sphere, or it's some shit like that, right? I don't know. But like, let's assume that half the world is exterior based, half the world's interior based. If you don't show the exterior, you're missing out on half of potential sales. What are you doing? Like, I was really, I was struck. I was smitten by the inside of this car. But what if I was into the outside more? I'd be like, that's a cool inside, but let's see what's on the outside, right? Let's see the rack on this thing. I mean, on top for like skis. What are you talking about? Whoa. What are you talking about? No, but I was like, what are you guys doing? And like sometimes with technology, it does this too. They like show this person like the inside of a headphone and they're like, look at all this technology making get this super bassy sound. I'm like, right, but what does it look like on the outside? Well, what are people going to see when I'm running? And then the ad's like, you don't run. And I'm like, okay, you're right, but that's I don't like that you called me out on that. I don't like that that's actually a very valid argument. Okay, let's say in a potential world where I do run, it's not going to happen, bud. Okay, just, you got me there again, but let's just, hypothetical here, okay? Hypothetical. What's it going to look like? Like, I remember there was this Beats commercial where they show LeBron, and they have that, like, they, like, keyframe it, right? And it follows, it's an not infamous, it's a famous, like, Beats commercial. It's very memorable. That's not a word. It's very memorable. And they track the movement of the Beats headphone. I'm like, yeah, that's what it looks like from the outside. That's how cool I'll look when I go up to dunk and I get stuffed by the rim. But no, I'm going to look just like LeBron James. But no, then they show the inside. I'm like, I don't care what's in my ear. I'm not into ear play. What are you talking about? Even though, did you know this? This is a fact I picked up in middle school, and I've been touting it off to people for years, probably over a decade now. But did you know the most seductive thing is the licking and sucking of the ear? You're like, well, why the fuck do you know that, Gauruv? Because I remember on a flight back from some like country we had visited, my mom let me borrow her phone to play some games on. And one of the games I would always love to play is this app that would literally just show you random facts. It was one of my favorite apps. I would listen to like music. I would listen to, Flo Rida and Pitbull and Jennifer Lopez. And then I would just flip through these random facts on this app. And that's where I learned that the most, like, what is it? The highest like level of arousal comes from the licking and sucking and whispering in the ear. So you probably didn't want to hear that at all, but especially from me. So I apologize, but just this is the world we're in now. There's no going back. You can't like reverse that moment. This happened. Isn't that crazy? You now live in a world in which you just listen to me say that. There's no going back. I'm so sorry, but like we're here. So just strap in, because we're on the other side. I guess you can actually take the strap off because there's no. I don't like the word choice I'm using here. Anyways, I was checking my mail earlier this week and I got this paper brochure in my mailbox and it said, California is feeling the effects of climate change and we must all do our part. And I was like, then why are you giving me a paper brochure about it? Like, what the fuck? I just thought that was funny. I'm like, this is how you're going to tell us that the planet's dying? By sending me spam mail? Physical spam mail? You don't see the irony in that? Mr. Mailman? I know it's not the mailman, don't shoot the messenger, but whoever sent this, you don't see how dumb this is? It's like, when you wrap the paper straws in plastic wrap, it's like, you guys don't see what you're doing here? Yeah, this mail was a paper straw wrapped in plastic. I'm like, you guys don't see the irony at all, do you? Sure, I'm informed, but now I think you're stupid. Actually, I'm not. It's not even that I'm more informed than I was before. I already knew this. I already knew that, the climate was, a pressing issue. That's why they make all those Netflix shows about, or Netflix movies about how the world's gonna blow up, you know? Why do you think Lil Dicky got all those superstars together to make this song called Earth? So it could go viral for like 3 weeks and then we would forget about it. Duh. But it was great advertising for him. I kid. I like Lil Dicky. I like Dave Bird. He's a cool guy. But you gotta admit, Earth was really just like I don't think it accomplished anything. Did it? I don't know. I hope it did. I like it. It's a good song. It's on my playlist from whatever year it came out. But I don't think it had the global impact Mr. Dave Bird thought it would, you know? Do you know the word sucks and the word blows? They're opposites, but they mean the same thing. I don't know if I've talked about this here, but if something sucks and blows, it means the same thing. But if you suck something and you blow, like if you suck, that's like inward. If you blow, that's outward. But then, if you suck someone off and you blow them, that's the same thing. So what's the deal with that? Anyways, this is one thing I was thinking about because I saw this Instagram reel. And this Instagram reel had about 4 or 5 moms on it. And they were dancing. And I don't know what the message of it was. I think it was something along the lines of when they say moms can't have fun on TikTok, and it's like them dancing. And they were killing it. Not going to lie. They were throwing it down and back. And I was like, damn. Nope. That's one of those moments where like in real life I would probably like extend that joke, but I'm like, let's just, for internet and posterity's sake, let's just cut it there. But no, let's just say these 4 or 5 moms were kind of like Stacy's mom, and I'll leave it at that, But I saw these moms dancing on these Instagram reels, and it made me think, hey, wait a minute. This is kind of a new thing in the world. How moms, or like parents in general, or just people, are documenting themselves on the internet. This wasn't a thing. Like there's so much information about our parents that I feel like we don't know, and like we'll never know, because the only time you can see it is through like photographs and maybe journals, But with the emergence, the burgeoning online world, there's a different documentation that's happening. It's this video medium, And it gives you such an intimate look at someone's life. And it made me think, do you think the kids of these moms are going to get like bullied for their moms? Like, do you think in like middle school when they grow up, people are going to be like, oh, look at your mom throwing it back. It's like, stop, put that away. Because like right now, like when I was in middle school, no one had videos of like their moms throwing it back, because they didn't exist. But now, today's kids are inundated with videos of their peers' moms throwing it back. And so how are they going to deal with that, It makes you think. It makes you think that I think bullying has like one-upped itself. I think it's like, it's going to get even more intense. They're going to be like, oh, look at your mom. Like, look at your mom sharing this cupcake recipe online. It's like, stop that. Like if your mom had a cupcake recipe, that's just something you would see when you went over, or like when people came over to your house, they're like, oh my God, these are so good. Is this a family recipe? And then your mom would be like, yep, family recipe. But now your mom like puts that out online, and then kids are going to be like, look at your mom. Like sharing her cupcakes with the world, and teachers are gonna be like, is that an innuendo? And they're like, well, it depends which TikTok you watch. And they're like, oh yeah. Sometimes she's talking about cake, and sometimes she's showing us you know, her cake. What's up? Sometimes she shows you how to make cake. Sometimes she shows you how to use cake. So, and then Johnny's like, "That's my mom you're talking about, man. What the fuck?" So yeah, it got me thinking about bullying, and like, how's that gonna change? I don't know. I mean, it's yeah, it's just gonna be. I don't know. I mean, just like the internet, like anything on the internet, there will be good that comes out of it. There will be bad that comes out of it. But I think at this specific thing I'm talking about, I think this is where we're gonna see some more bad than good. You know, which is which sucks. I wish it wasn't that way. You know, I wish the internet was just used purely for good. But we have NFTs, so you know. By the way, thank you for watching this my most recent video, the NFT tier list. Um, yeah, I don't know why I made that, but I did, so it exists. I don't give a shit about NFTs, by the way. I think some people incorrectly assume like, ah, no, you know stuff about NFT. No, I don't. No, and they're like, oh, but you're trying to. No, no, no. I don't want to know anything about NFTs. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I really don't. The the more days I live not hearing about NFTs, the better. It's great. It's great. If a day transpires and NFTs were mentioned, I think we're going back as a society. You know? No, I don't know. I don't know. NFTs are such a like a random, like they're not random. They're such a new thing that I don't know. Who the fuck knows? That's the thing. Me even talking about it here, it doesn't. It's not worth anything because I don't know shit about them, and I like that. We actually were talking about them at the thing today at Alex's place, and we talked about. Do you think NFTs will like live for very long? And through the little amount of knowledge I know about it, I was thinking like, I think NFTs will last a while. I just don't think they'll exist in the same form that they do today. Like right now, it's like art you buy and like that's what it is, right? But it will like transform into more of like, I don't know, a piece of information you own. And it's not, the art is only the representation of that like digital property. I don't know shit about NFTs. I'm going to stop talking about them. Let's talk about people that make fun of you for not knowing a thing. What's up with that? Why do people do that? I was telling my mom today, there's something that makes me immediately like someone. There are a few things that make me immediately like someone. First, I mean, a sense of humor. Um, like when you throw out a joke and then someone like builds off it, you're like, you're my favorite person. You're great. Um, okay, so yeah, one thing that makes me immediately like someone is like, if someone asks me, hey, do you know about this thing? And I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. And they're like, oh, okay. So it's this. And then they continue. I'm like, oh, I kind of already like really like you. Versus someone that's like, hey, do you know this thing? And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't know that thing. And they're like, what? What do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know. Did I not say it very clear? I just don't know what that is. Was that not clear? And they're like, so okay, okay. Whoa, whoa. Is anyone else getting this? So you don't know what this thing is? No, I don't know what that thing is. What? you, bro, bro, what do you? Okay, you're fucking with me. You don't know what that thing is? I don't know what that thing is. Okay, okay, okay. I know you're a funny guy, but you got to be fucking with me on this one. You're not. You're not. You don't know what this thing is. How the fuck don't you know what this thing is, bro? Everyone knows what this thing is. I mean, I guess not, because I don't know what it is. Yeah, but you're probably like the one person that doesn't know what it means. Like literally everyone I talk to, bro, everyone knows what this fucking thing is. Like, where have you been? Do you not go outside? Yeah, actually, I don't really go outside. Well, then that explains it, bozo. How do you know what this thing is? You fucking, huh, what are you, Patrick Star living under a rock? You fucking idiot. You can just not know stuff. It's wild to me that people are like, "Do you know this thing?" And then I'm like, "Nope." And then they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, people cannot know things." It's so wild to me. Hey, bro, have you seen this movie? No, no. I'm familiar with it, but no, I haven't seen it. What? You gotta be fucking kidding me with that. I you just ruined my day. I just like I was having a good day, and then you said that, and I'm fucked up. I'm fucked adjacent. I'm wow. You got me fucked diagonal with that, bro. I am perturbed horizontal. How do you not know what Alvin and the Chipmunks of Squeakle? How have you not seen that? I don't know, man. Maybe I have taste. Yeah, okay. Maybe bad taste. Oh, shut the fuck up. If you don't know a thing, or if someone else doesn't know a thing, don't shame them. It's the most wild thing. It's like one of the biggest turnoffs for me. It's not a red flag. Just I probably won't be asking you to hang out. uh, so yeah, and we all know those people. And then they wonder why don't they get invited to stuff? I'm a fun guy to hang around with. I know all these pop culture things. Yeah, but then you make people feel like shit when they don't know it. It's like what the fuck? You think we want you around? Every time we go to a restaurant, you're gonna suggest the place you know, and then we're gonna go there and we're gonna be like, "Well, what's good to eat?" And they're like, "You don't know what to order at this place? How are you so fucking stupid? How do you not know what to order at this place? Everyone knows what to order at this place. It's my favorite place. How do you not know what to order from it?" You know, those people. Shit. Sorry. I forgot. I don't have my belt done, so it got like caught on the bottom of my chair. But yeah, I fucking hate those people, man. I don't hate them. I steer clear. You know? And they always know the weirdest shit. It's not even stuff that would be worthwhile knowing. It's like such like you would never need to know or want to know what they're talking about. Honestly, their admission of having knowledge of such a thing should probably scare you. You should be like, "Ooh, you do know that?" Yikes. Yeah. I I'm I mean I hide it, you know? I hide it, but my reaction whenever someone's like, you seen this movie? And I'm like, "Mm." And they're like, "Oh." I'm like, "Don't. Nope. Pick your jaw up off the ground. It's not a big deal. I just haven't seen that movie. Just stop. Just whatever." And then because the next minute or two they're gonna be like, well, they're gonna like offer all these stupid reasons like, well, how do you not know what this? Have you not seen this movie? It's funny. You like comedy. How have you not seen it? I'm like, I haven't gotten around to it. It's got this actor. Didn't you watch this movie with this actor? So how have you not seen this one? That's not. I don't think that works that way. They're like, well, how do you not know? It came out in 2008. Weren't you alive in 2008? Yes, I was. But that's what? I've seen movies before I was when I was before I was born. That's not a good. That doesn't. What? It was released in America. Weren't you born in America? Yes. What? What do you? What even is this now? So yeah, just if there's anything to take away from this podcast episode, just know that I'm doing better, and please don't be a fucking asshole to people that don't know what certain things are. And yeah, I hope you had a good or had a good or no, I just said the same thing twice. Hope you have a good or had a good Valentine's Day, and yeah, hope you have a good week. Talk at you next week. Bye.